The number of stops is determined by how the tire behaves. During a race, as a driver does more laps on a tire, this one wears down. And as a result of the wear, the car goes slower every lap. Usually this wear gets to a point in which the tire can no longer provide a competitive lap time. This is what we call the end of the performance line. So we have degradation for a tire, so how slow does it go every lap, coupled with how many performance laps does this tire give us. How many laps can we do at a reasonable lap time with this tire? Typically, a soft compound gives us a faster initial lap, and then it degrades as it goes on, while a medium or hard compound will give us a slower initial lap time, and it will degrade less and provide longer performance life. With this in mind, we have to couple how much time do you lose on every piston. At Barcelona, it's 22 seconds. Now the trade-off, as you can see on the plot, is one stop. You drop 22 seconds and then you go to the end, or I couple 2 stops of 22 seconds and I suffer less degradation as a result of having shorter stint. Yesterday in Barcelona, it was very tight in between 1 and 2 stops, as we saw people trying both strategies. Another dimension that a 1-stop and a 2-stop strategy has in mind is that usually, in order to make a 1-stop strategy, a driver needs to take care of his tires so that they make it the stint length for a 1-stop, which is longer by definition than the stint length for a 2-stop. So in essence, you cannot drive at the same speed when doing a 1-stop as when doing a 2-stop. So we also take that into consideration when we target a 1-stop, as we did with Charles yesterday, or a 2-stop as we did with Charles yesterday. Pit stops in Formula 1 are key. They are key to the race. Our pit stop guys are doing regularly sub 3-second pit stops easily and very close to 2-second pit stops. If you consider how many people have to be coordinated to make an operation that roughly takes 2-3 seconds, it's very impressive. And it is furthermore more impressive when you take into consideration that any little mistake of any of these people can put the whole operation at jeopardy. Yesterday at Barcelona Grand Prix, we saw clearly how a good pit stop can gain you track position. Carlos stopped on lap 22 yesterday and gambled for a undercut on Ocon on the Alpine. And thanks to a very good pit stop from our crew, Carlos was able to emerge out of the pits ahead of Ocon, which gave him free air for his two-stop strategy, which was critical to make. Okay, so yesterday it was quite clear for us that we tried the 2-stop strategy with Carlos and the 1-stop strategy with Charles. We thought it would be more competitive for Charles to do the 1-stop, but of course, a 1-stop strategy comes at a risk. The risk is that you will do too many laps on a given compound. In this case, it was the medium for Charles. Sometimes you have the luxury of getting a free pit stop. What does a free pit stop mean? A free pit stop is when you can stop without losing position. Yesterday with Charles, we had the luxury that on lap 58, Perez was more than 22 seconds behind us. As a matter of fact, he was more than 30 seconds behind us. So we could stop Charles and make sure that he would not go out in traffic. We did that just to minimize the risk of running out of rubber on his very long medium stint. So we were glad to see that Charles overtook Bottas from the first laps of the race, and that he managed to actually keep him behind. On one side, we were quite convinced that Bottas would have overtaken Charles at some point, but Charles was doing very good driving and was managing to keep him behind. We did very briefly consider whether we could keep him behind, but common sense prevailed. And we realized that at this stage, the Mercedes is a much stronger car. And so very early on in the race, we decided to ignore Bottas and let him do his own race so that Charles can do his fastest possible race and try and beat the Red Bull behind, which was already a difficult